Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode. I'm Maya, and I'm thrilled to take you on another culinary journey. Today's story is all about an unexpected twist with pears, so stay tuned for a creative kitchen adventure. For a recent pop-up dinner event, I planned to create a pear and goat cheese stuffed chicken breast. The dish is a favorite of mine because the sweet pears complement the tangy goat cheese perfectly, all wrapped in a juicy chicken breast. The event was an elegant affair aimed at showcasing gourmet flavors, and I wanted to bring something special to the table. But as luck would have it, I discovered that we had a serious shortage of pears just as I was about to start cooking. Pears are so integral to this dish because they add a unique sweetness and moisture. They're versatile, used in everything from salads to desserts, and they're beloved in Florida for their delicate flavor and crisp texture. With the pear shortage at hand, I had to come up with a clever solution. Instead of merely substituting another fruit, I decided to create a pear-like flavor using a combination of ingredients. I used apples and a splash of white wine to mimic the pear's sweetness and complexity. I cooked the apples down with a bit of honey and a touch of vanilla to create a sauce that would infuse the chicken with a pear-like essence. Then I mixed in some finely chopped fresh herbs to add depth. The result was a flavorful, creative take on the original dish that impressed everyone at the event.
Maya, that sounds incredible. I love how you didn't just settle for a basic substitution. The apple and honey combination sounds like it really captured the essence of the pears. How did you balance the flavors to make sure the dish still felt cohesive?
Thanks, Sarah. Balancing the flavors was key. I made sure to taste frequently and adjust the sweetness with a little bit of honey and acidity with the wine. It took some tweaking, but I think the result was well worth it.
I'm really impressed by your resourcefulness, Maya. Using apples as a base and enhancing them with honey and vanilla is such a smart move. Did you find that the sauce affected the texture of the stuffing in any way?
Yes, Jennifer, it did change the texture a bit. The apples created a slightly different mouthfeel compared to pears, but the sauce helped keep the chicken moist and flavorful.
Maya, this sounds amazing. I love how you turned a challenge into an opportunity for creativity. Did you find that the applesauce brought out different notes in the dish compared to the pears?
Absolutely, Emily. The applesauce added a slightly different sweetness and a hint of vanilla that gave the dish a new dimension. It was a fun twist on the original recipe.
Your approach is so inspiring, Maya. I'm curious, did you consider using any other flavoring techniques or ingredients to complement the apple-based filling?
Good question, Chloe. I did consider adding a bit of citrus zest to brighten the flavors further. In the end, I decided to keep it simple to let the apples and honey shine.
When it comes to selecting pears, I always look for ones that yield slightly to gentle pressure. This indicates ripeness and ensures they're sweet and juicy, perfect for any dish. In Texas, pears can be a rare find, so I'm especially careful when picking them for my recipes.
Great point, Jennifer. In California, I focus on pears with a vibrant color and a nice, aromatic smell. This usually means they're ripe and ready to eat. Pears are fantastic in my garden salads, and I always choose ones that are fragrant and not too soft.
I agree, Sarah. In New York, I also check for aroma and slight softness. I use pears in various dishes, from baked goods to savory recipes. When buying, I avoid pears that have bruises or blemishes, as they can spoil quickly.
All excellent tips. In Washington, I often buy pears in the fall when they're in season. I look for ones that have a bit of firmness but are still fragrant. Pears are great for baking and cooking, and the right ripeness is key to achieving the best texture.
I love all these insights. For me, I look for pears that have a good color and feel slightly tender near the stem. This indicates they're at their peak sweetness. Avoiding overly soft pears helps prevent spoilage and ensures a great texture for dishes.
In California, if I run out of pears, I might use apples or persimmons. Apples are crisp and slightly sweet, and they work well in many dishes, though they lack the same juiciness. Persimmons, on the other hand, offer a different kind of sweetness, but have a unique flavor profile.
In Texas, I'd use peaches or plums as alternatives. Peaches bring a juicy, fragrant sweetness that can substitute for pears in many recipes. Plums offer a tangy flavor that works well, though they have a firmer texture compared to pears.
In Washington, I might turn to apples or quinces. Quinces have a lovely aroma and can mimic some of the pear's floral notes when cooked, though they're more tart. Apples are a practical choice and add a nice texture to baked goods.
In New York, figs are a good alternative. They provide a sweet and slightly chewy texture that works well in many recipes. While they're not as juicy as pears, they bring a rich flavor that can complement various dishes.
Thanks so much, everyone. We've had a fantastic discussion about pears and creative alternatives. Sarah, your use of apples and persimmons in California was inspiring. Jennifer, peaches and plums sound perfect for Texas. Emily, apples and quinces in Washington offer great options. Chloe, figs in New York bring a unique twist. I appreciate all your valuable insights and thank you for sharing. That wraps up our episode for today. Thanks for joining us and exploring the world of pears and alternatives. Keep experimenting in the kitchen and making the most of your ingredients. Until next time, happy cooking!